Hi Transition, it's me, Ms Shimshock. How's everybody doing today? I decided to make another video so we could exercise together, bring a little physical activity into our daily routine. And today we're going to exercise the core. So the core is the middle area of your body. It's your belly and your sides and your back. So it's all around this middle area. It's important to have a strong core to prevent back injury, and it will also help you in your daily activities. It'll help you exercise better. So we're gonna do that together today. So all you need is comfortable clothes and a pair of sneakers. You don't need a mat. If you have a mat, that's great, but you absolutely do not need a mat. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to just warm up our core a little bit before we start. So we're gonna come into table. The wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips, and we're just gonna do some cow and cat. So take an inhale and drop the belly down towards the floor and lift the head and the chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the back, press the mat away, arms are straight and chin comes to the chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin and chest to cow. Exhale, round the back, press the mat away, chin to chest to cat. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. One more, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. Come to a flat back. Now we're going to just do some shoulder taps. So trying to keep the body from moving from side to side, keeping the body stationary. Those arms are gonna stay straight. We're pressing into that mat. You're gonna look down at the floor, maybe a few inches in front of your fingertips, and you're just going to shoulder tap. So you're tapping the opposite shoulder. So my left hand's hitting my right shoulder and my right hand is hitting my left shoulder. And we're just gonna do a few more. Let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to, from our tabletop, I want you to extend the right leg behind you. So you're pressing into those palms, those arms are straight, that right foot is flexed, so those toes are pointing down towards the floor. So notice that my leg is about hip height. It's not up really high and it's not down really low. It's about hip height. This is just warming up the core, starting to work into those core muscles a little bit. If you feel really good here and you need a little bit more, you're gonna extend the opposite arm. So my right leg is behind me and I'm gonna extend the left arm in front of me. So my fingers are spread wide, my thumb is pointing up towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna try to keep my arm about shoulder height. And we're gonna hold here for just a couple more breaths. Try to keep really steady. Try to keep that core in nice and tight. One more breath. And you're gonna lower the hand and lower the knee. We're gonna drop the belly to cow with an inhale. Lift the head and chest and exhale, round the back to cat, chin to chest. Coming to the opposite side. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You're gonna extend that left leg out behind you with the foot flexed, toes are pointing down. So I'm keeping that leg about hip height and my toes are pointing down towards the floor. And if you want a little more, if you're good here, then you're gonna extend the opposite arm. So my left leg is out, my right arm is out. I'm gonna keep my arm about shoulder height, keep my leg about hip height. My fingers are spread wide, my thumb is pointing up. And try not to wiggle from side to side. Try to keep that left arm straight. Keep pressing that left palm into the mat. Let's hold for a couple more breaths. Warming up the core. And we're gonna lower that hand and lower that knee. Inhale to cow. Drop the belly, lift the head and chest. Exhale to cat, round the back, press the mat away, chin to chest. Nice job, guys. One more. So this time I want you to tuck your toes, and we're gonna lift our knees about an inch off the mat. So we're gonna keep pressing into those palms. Those fingers are spread wide. Those arms are gonna stay straight. Everything is in nice and tight. And you're gonna press into those toes and lift those knees off the mat. So I'm gonna look down at the floor. And we're just gonna hold here just for a couple breaths. One more breath. And we're gonna lower those knees down. We're gonna sit back into a child's pose so the knees come wide, the big toes stay together, hips come to the heels, arms come straight out in front of us, forehead comes to the mat. Nice job, guys. We're gonna come back up. We're gonna give those wrists a little shake. Maybe do some wrist circles in one direction, wrist circles in another direction. Another thing you could do to stretch out those wrists if they start to bother you. Mine always bother me when I am on my palms exercising, is you could extend that arm out in front of you with the fingers pointing down. Palm is facing forward. I'm gonna take my opposite hand. I'm just gonna pull those fingers back gently towards me, just to stretch out this part of the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. So we'll just stretch out the left side for a breath or two, and then we'll switch sides. Right arm is extended, fingers are down, and I'm gonna take the opposite hand. I'm gonna gently pull those fingers back towards me, just to give that a little relief to the wrist and the hand and the forearm. Little shake. Okay, transition. Now we're gonna go on to our back, and we're gonna start with just your basic crunch. So the basic crunch, we're gonna lower down onto our backs, come to your forearms, and then slowly lower down onto our backs. Our knees are bent. My feet are planted firmly on the floor. They're about hips distance apart. They're not real wide. They're not close together. There's a space between those feet. I'm gonna come down onto my back. I'm gonna give you two options. One is you could take the hands behind your head, elbows point out to the side, and we look up at the ceiling. The other option is you're gonna cross your arms. So one hand on opposite shoulder. So right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right shoulder. You could keep those arms crossed, and the eyes stay up on the ceiling. So our goal here is to get those shoulders up off the floor, okay? So we're gonna do 2 sets of 10. So the first set, I'm gonna start with my hands behind my head. My elbows are out to the side. I'm gonna gaze up at the ceiling. I'm gonna keep my core in nice and tight, okay? And we're gonna lift for 1 and lower. Lift for 2, getting those shoulders off of the floor. Lift for 3, lower. 4, lower. 5, keep those elbows pointing out to the side. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice job, transition. We'll just take a couple seconds here in between sets to rest. This time, I'm just going to show you the different arm position that you can take. And I'm just gonna cross my arms over my chest, eyes up at the ceiling, pressing into those feet, core is nice and tight, and we're trying to get those shoulders off of the floor. We're gonna do 10, here we go. 1, eyes are on the ceiling. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Nice job, transition. Okay, the next core exercise we're going to do is a variation of the crunch. This time we're going to take the feet off of the floor, And do you see how my knees are in line with my hips? My knees aren't coming in here and my knees aren't out here. So my knees are in line with my hips, and your feet could stay flexed or pointed or just relaxed and comfortable. And again, same thing with the arms. Hands could come behind the head, or you could cross them over your chest. We're gonna do 2 sets of 10. If your hands are behind your head, elbows are out to the side, gazing up at the ceiling, shoulders come off of the floor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. You could lower those feet. Give that core a little rest here. I miss all of you guys so much. I hope that you're getting all your work done at home, all your schoolwork, and helping out at home and staying healthy and staying home. Okay, second set. So the knees are in line with the hips, and I'm gonna cross over this time. We're gonna do 10. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice job, guys. You could lower those feet. Give your tummy a little break. The next one we're going to do is we're going to extend the legs up to the ceiling. I'm going to flex my feet so my toes are pointing towards my face, and with my fingertips I'm going to reach up as far as I can, trying to touch those toes or those shoelaces, but come up as far as you can. The goal is just to get those shoulders up off the mat, off the floor, okay? So we're gonna gaze up, we're gonna keep our core nice and tight, and we're gonna do 2 sets of 10. So here's the first set, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower those feet, give ourselves a little break, remembering, do what you can do. If you can't do 10, if you can only do 5, that's great. 6, that's great. 3, that's great. If you continue to exercise, maybe 3 to 4 times a week, you will get stronger and you will get better. Okay, last set. Legs are up, feet are flexed. We're gonna reach for those toes or those shoelaces, getting those shoulders off the mat. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. 1. Nice job, guys. We're gonna go into bicycles, but let's just do a quick stretch. So extend those legs long, take those arms overhead, reach the fingers behind you, reach the toes in front of you. You're reaching in opposite direction. Maybe just kind of reach opposite hands. Right hand reaches, left hand reaches, just stretching out that core. Okay, nice job, guys. We're gonna go into bicycles. So we're gonna take our hands behind our head, and I'm just gonna show you really quick. So when one knee comes in, the one leg extends and the opposite elbow goes to the opposite knee. And then you switch. The knee that's bent, the opposite elbow goes to the knee that's bent. Trying to keep those legs that are extended long as you can, as long as you could extend those legs. And we're going to do 2 sets of 10. I want you to try to keep your eyes up to the ceiling and try to keep those elbows pointed out wide. And remember, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Nice job, guys. Lower the feet, give yourself a little break here. Taking a couple deep breaths. When your body gets warm, if you exhale out of your mouth, that's going to release some heat from your body. And here we go into our second set of bicycles. So the hands are going to go behind the head and the elbows are pointing out. And we're going to gaze up at that ceiling. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, getting those shoulders off the floor. 7, 6, opposite elbow to opposite knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good job, transition. Let's do a full body stretch again. Extend those legs, extend those arms overhead. Stretch and reach, reach. Maybe bring the knees in, wrap the arms around the shins, squeeze those knees in tight. Maybe gently rock from side to side. And we're gonna rock ourselves up to a seat. We're going to go into a plank. So there's 2 ways to plank. One is on your palms with the arms straight, the legs extended behind you. You're pressing into those toes. Those heels are pressing to the back wall. My wrists are under my shoulders. Okay, we don't want our hands up here. We don't want our hands out here. We want those wrists directly under those shoulders. And we're going to keep that core nice and tight, squeezing that belly. And you're gonna gaze down at the space between your hands. Okay, the legs don't have to be completely straight. If you wanted to put a little tiny bend in the knees, that's okay. And gazing down between those hands. And breathe, just breathe here. And we're gonna hold for about 5 more seconds. You got this. 1 more breath. Nice job. We're gonna lower those knees and we'll press back to a child's pose. You can keep the knees together. You can take the knees apart and just stretch those arms in the forehead. Comes to the mat. And we're gonna come into our second plank. So planks not only work the core, this whole middle area, but planks are also working your shoulders and your arms, your chest and your back, your quads, even your ankles, even your feet. Okay, so a plank is a full body exercise. They're really good for you. Oh, I wanted to show you the other variation. I apologize. You could be on your palms with the arms straight, or you could be on your forearms. So it's just like a tall plank, but you're on your forearms. But notice that my elbows are underneath my shoulders and my forearms are parallel to one another and my fingers are spread wide. So this is the other plank that you could do if your wrists are starting to bother you. Okay, so we're gonna come into our second plank. So stay into a tall plank with on your palms, or come into a forearm plank on your forearms. Okay, so I'll come into a forearm plank and I'm gonna keep my elbows directly under my shoulders. I'm gonna gaze down at that space between my hands. I'm gonna keep my core nice and tight. Pressing back through those heels. Heels are pressing to the back wall. And I'm just gonna hold here. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job lowering those knees. And we'll sit back a little bit into our child's pose. I'm gonna show you one more plank. So you're either gonna hold it in, hold your stationary plank, just like we were doing, whether it's on your hands or on your forearms. And we're just gonna tap our feet from side to side. If that's too hard to do, then you're just gonna hold a plank, okay? Because holding a plank is a great exercise in itself. So let's come into our plank, whether it's on our palms or on our forearms, and we're gazing down at that space between our palms, between our hands. Our core is nice and tight. We're trying not to shake our body. We're going to try to keep our body nice and still. You're either going to hold or we're going to tap out to the right and bring that foot in. Tap left, bring that foot in. Right comes out, right comes in. Left comes out, left comes in. Right out, right in. Left out, left in. Let's do 2 more each side. Right out, right in. Left out, left in. 1 more. Right side and the left side. Nice job, guys. Press back into your child's pose. Now we're going to do an exercise for our back. So I want you to make your way down onto your belly. And my legs are straight. My toes are untucked, so the tops of my shoes are on the floor or the mat. I'm going to lower my belly. I'm going to take my arms out to the side with my elbows bent. I'm going to bring my chin to the mat. And then you're going to lift up, bringing that chest off the floor a little bit and lower down. Let's lift up and lower down. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Nice job, transition. Pressing back into our child's pose. This time I want you to keep your knees together so we could take some stress off that lower back and relieve that lower back from doing our back exercises just now. Forehead comes to the mat, reaching back to our feet, bringing our body into a tiny ball, just relieving that low back a little bit. And I want you to come up to a table and we're gonna stretch out our wrists. So I want you to flip those hands so the fingers are pointing back towards you. Thumbs are on the outside, and I'm just gonna lean back a little bit. I showed you this stretch in the yoga video because yoga really does a number on your wrists and your hands and your forearms. And come forward. Now we're just gonna flip it over to the tops of our hands so our palms are pointing up to the ceiling, and we're gonna try to keep our arms straight. If it's hard for you to keep your arms straight, bringing your hands closer to your knees will be easier for you, okay? So wherever you need to be, and then we're just gonna lean back a little bit. I'm pressing into the backs of the hands. That feels so good. And we're gonna release. Let's shake those wrists out. We're gonna come onto our bottoms, and with the knees bent, I want you to just wrap those arms around the shins. Bring your forehead to your knees. One more breath. And we're just gonna make our way onto our backs. And we're gonna just do a full body stretch, extending those arms overhead, extending those legs long. Reach the fingers behind you, reach the toes in front of you, reaching in opposite directions. And we'll make our way back up to a seat, and you are done. That was awesome. You guys did a really good job. I'm super proud of you. I miss you all so very much, transition. And I'll see you soon, okay? Bye.